Reclusive antelope. They're so good at hiding, they get the nickname the ghost of the forest. Left-hand side in the bamboo back there, you also can see the okapi. And can anyone tell me what the okapi looks like? That's right, it looks like a zebra, but that animal is the only living relative of the giraffe. They were known about by locals for a long time, but it wasn't until 1901 that they were finally discovered by Westerners, thinking them to be myths. Take a look at the bottom of the hill over here, there's another antelope. Straight ahead of us is the greater kudu, the tallest antelope in Africa. And they'll hide in the bushes in order to evade any predators. Now, honestly, with so many animals like camouflage around here, I wouldn't be too surprised if we find some smaller animals as well. So let's keep an eye out for them and see what we can find around us. Now, these open areas should be a little easier to find animals like the black rhino back there. Now, the black rhino is actually the smallest of the rhino species, only weighing around 3,000 pounds. They also have a prehensile lip that help them browse for any food and vegetation out here as well. And speaking of vegetation, I think there might be one more animal we can see out here today. Let's see if we can find it. Just keep an eye on the bushes. It's going to be straight ahead of us. It's a black and white bird with the saddle formation on its beak called the saddle-billed stork. They have a wingspan of 7 to 9 feet in length and will mate for life, foraging and nesting together in pairs. They've also been known to fight off other pairs of saddle-billed stork together as well. How romantic! But taking a look around, it's not a coincidence that we are passing by some water. We're heading out to the Safi River, everyone, which homes many aquatic animals, so keep your eyes on the banks and in the river below us for anything that might be lurking just beneath. We gotta be careful though, because a lot of the animals here do tend to be more territorial and or aggressive. The banks straight ahead, you're gonna see some pink-backed pelicans, one of 8 pelican species in the world, and also one of the only pelicans that live in the trees around us. But in the water down here, those are the hippos. And they're going to stay underneath the water like that for the majority of the day, spending 7 to 8 minutes at a time completely submerged. They are territorial and will defend these areas with their 18-inch tusks. They look like they swim out here, but they don't swim that much. They just float in the water, and will then sink down to the bottom of the riverbed in order to walk or run across it. We can continue to keep an eye out for any shadows that might be underneath the water down there, but I don't see anything at the moment. So I don't think there's any more hippos on this side. But I do have to warn you all. We are going to be heading over a bridge here pretty soon, so make sure we're all staying seated at all times throughout our safari. And also please, make sure we're not holding up our little ones like Simba. But we're going to let my friends take this bridge here first, just so they know that it's safe. I mean, what do you think? Chances are that we hear a splash. Extreme? Or some screams. Oh, I thought you said extreme. No splash, so I think it's good. Oh, but you can't see the hippos down there. There are some hippos still around. There are just shadows down there, though. But we have to be careful because we're heading over the Nile crocodiles. The Nile crocodiles are opportunistic eaters, meaning anything that comes their path, they're most likely going to try to eat it. They're not all that bad, though, as the Nile crocodiles will also put their eggs inside of their mouths and roll them around to help them hatch. I don't know about you all, but that sounds like some grade A parenting in my opinion. Make sure we're not holding up our little ones, everyone. We have to make sure we're all staying seated at all times, even all the way in the back. Now, a lot of the animals that we actually saw around us are unfortunately endangered due to deforestation. There are ways we can prevent this though. Just by using less paper and recycling, we can ensure that the habitats, just like the ones we're traveling through right now, will stay intact for the animals live inside of them. Another way that we have to prevent deforestation is actually by using more bamboo products. Bamboo is not a tree at all, but a type of grass. It grows at a rapid pace, and it can be used to make products that originally were made by things like wood, including paper products, and can even be used in construction. Speaking of trees, take a look up ahead. That is the baobab tree. It's a very good indicator that we're heading out into the savannah. The savannah is home to many animals here, so make sure to have your cameras ready if you have them. Gotta admit though, it's a little difficult to see these animals from here, so we'll make our way down to the bottom of the hill to see if we get a little closer to them. And what's the first animal we can see down there? I thought I heard for a second we do see that really tall animal out there. As the Maasai giraffe, the tallest animal in the world, reaching around 18 to 20 feet in height. They can also run up to speeds of 35 miles per hour. Not a lot of predators like to go after them though, since they have a very powerful kick that even lions are afraid of, so they're rarely hunted. Just want to take a moment, everyone, to really appreciate the views that we're seeing over here in the savannah, because this is such a beautiful view and a great opportunity to get your screensaver for your phone for the next 4 months. There should be some more animals as soon as we make our way down to the bottom of the hill, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look around. With the sun being out like it is at the moment, they're most likely going to be hiding in some of the shaded parts, except for our friend right over here on the left-hand side. Those are the Hartmann's mountain zebra. And can anyone tell me if the Hartmann's mountain zebra is white with black stripes or black with white stripes? And it is going to be one of them. Say black and white stripes? Well, these Hartmann's mountain zebra are actually black with white stripes. We know this by looking at their nose. They have a black tip to their nose with those white stripes originating from the bridge of their nose. Now the cool thing is, we don't even know why they have these stripes. It's only a theory that they have them in order to confuse their predators and or to hide their numbers. You can actually see one of the baby zebras that was born 4 to 5 months ago here in the Kilimanjaro safaris. That is a little baby, and her half-sister is actually laying down back there. Everyone, look on the left-hand side. Underneath the cave over there, you are going to see another animal, the painted dogs, or the African wild dogs, as some people might know them as. The painted dogs are the most proficient hunter in the savannah, chasing down their prey and wearing them out before catching them. That coat that you saw is unique to every single one of them, truly earning them that name, the painted dog, and they're quite the cute, little, vicious predator. Don't cross, and we are crossing. All right, we're gonna wait right here just for a second. You can actually see another animal over here on the left-hand side, the sable antelope. A very tenacious animal, as they prefer to fight off their predators rather than run away from them. We'll try to see if we get closer to another giraffe over here, as that one's walking away from us. But as we try to find that perfect giraffe to take a photo of, we are also passing by these strange structures. Who can tell me what they are? That's right. They are termite mounds. And they're made out of a lot of materials, most notably saliva and dung. They'll bake out here in the sun, getting almost as hard as concrete. And elephants will often like to go up to those mounds in order to scratch themselves on it, since they're so durable. Alright, now I hate to say it, but this is going to be the best view we get of the of the giraffe over here, and you walk away from us as well. Well, here's another one on the right-hand side. Not the best angle, but still pretty cool. Now let's continue on. There should be some more animals we can find out here in the savannah other than the giraffe. But just like I said beforehand, most likely these animals are going to try to stay in the shaded parts of the savannah, as it is getting pretty hot for them out here. Oh, there's some animals messing around in the bushes back there. See the one with the big horns? That is the Ankoli cattle back there. Their horns can actually grow up to 3 to 4 feet in length and are hollow on the inside with a honeycomb structure. It may look like they have those horns for defense, but they're instead used to regulate their body temperatures. And right next to the Ankole cattle is a very well-known animal, the gray one, the wildebeest. The wildebeest are the second most densely populated mammal in the world, only second to us humans. They migrate for around 500 to 1,000 miles, with their migrations being able to be seen from space. However, we're gonna leave them alone because, well, I've seen The Lion King. I don't need a repeat of that. It's actually a better view of the Ankole cattle if you can see it by the bushes and the tall grass back there. Here are a couple of the wildebeest a little closer to us, sitting on the edge right over there. And we've seen our fair share of animals out here, ranging all the way from the very tall Maasai giraffe to the very small baby zebras. Here's another giraffe, actually. But you may have noticed something else that's a little concerning. These trees have been ripped to shreds. Now, I can already tell the human didn't do this, but whatever did cause this must have been huge. So let's be careful as we move forward. Alright, let's be careful, everyone. I'm not sure what might be around the corner, but it could be anything. And I think we can see what caused the trees to fall down. Straight ahead, that is the African elephant. A very social animal, but males do tend to be more solitary, like we see over here. They do like to knock down the trees to eat the leaves off of them, so that's most likely what we saw. And we're lucky too, because we actually have to head over to that ravine on the right-hand side and continue our safari. What we're gonna do is we're gonna head over the road, make a pass around these trees over here to get a better view of the elephant, and then head back to the ravine to continue our safari today. Or not. The road's closed, everyone. This is pretty bad, because that pathway was our safest way across. I mean, this road over here is going to take us to the same area, but the last time I went down this way, there was a road that did not look too good. Maybe they fixed it in the time that I was gone, so we'll check real quick. And they haven't done a single thing to it. New plan. We're going to take this really slow. Do not move, don't make any sudden movements, because I have no idea what's going to happen if we do that. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, maybe a little slower. Don't worry, everyone. That's just a stud of 35-year-old wood cracking beneath us. But I think we can make it. Looks like we made it. And that was a close one, especially since I'm not insured. But maybe we can actually find some more elephants around here. There is some evidence they were nearby. Take a look on the right-hand side. We're gonna see some elephant tusk marks in the red clay. They'll eat this red clay to gain minerals and nutrients they don't normally get from day-to-day life. And on the left-hand side, on the floor, you'll see elephant tracks, leading directly to the rest of the elephants out there. You're gonna spot them out from their big size, but also from their ears waving back and forth. Does anyone know why they would do that, though? That's right, it is to cool themselves down. However, they're not fanning off their bodies. Instead, they're fanning off the blood vessels inside of their ears. That will cool down the blood inside of their ears, which will then circulate throughout the rest of their body, cooling off the rest of the elephant in the process. And it's not their only way to cool down, because they're also going to throw dirt, grass, and mud on their backs to protect their skin from the sun, just like sunscreen. Oh, remember that mud I was talking about? It looks like we're about to head into a mud pit ourselves right over here. My friends are slowing down a little bit though. We'll let them pass a little more forward before we continue on that way. But this mud is used by a lot of animals in a lot of different ways. Rhinos are going to like to roll around in this mud in order to protect their skin, just like the elephants we saw over here. But we actually might find another animal using this mud in a different way. Like with these greater flamingos. Oh, but we're gonna stop for a second so we can get a good view of these elephants over here first. Alright. Now we are passing by the greater flamingos over here, and they're actually using the mud to build their nests. They'll incubate their eggs in these nests for around 30 days. And when they hatch, they're not hatched with pink feathers, but instead gray feathers. Who can tell me how they get their pink feathers? That's right. They're going to eat little tiny krill or even a little tiny shrimp that is going to be rich in something called beta carotene that's going to give them that pink coloration in their feathers. And also, don't laugh at me, a group of flamingos like the ones we see down here are called a flamboyance of flamingos. But now I need everyone's help, because up ahead we are approaching a very dense area of the savannah. If you see any animals around here, go ahead and point them out and let me know. We'll try to talk about them. So let's see what might be around us.
Is it a lion?
There could be lions over here. We're not out of the savannah just yet.
Yeah,
But it's not a lion. These are the white rhinos. They actually get their name from a misunderstanding of the Afrikaans word "vite," meaning wide, because they have a very wide lip that helps them graze on grass. That horn that you see is made out of keratin, the same thing that your fingernails or hair are made out of. But some people do believe that it holds medicinal purposes, which is not true. So they're unfortunately poached with that horn. We're trying to teach as many people as we can about the white rhino to protect their species and to stop them from being poached. Here's something fun for you all. They have excellent hearing. As you can see with those ears, they're shaped like cones to really pick up on noises, and they can swivel. But they have terrible eyesight. They can only see about 10 feet in front of them. Oh, take a look on the right. That is the green Silverado. There's also the ostrich over there, though, which is the largest and heaviest bird in the world, and they also produce the largest eggs. Their eggs are so strong that if you were to stand on top of one of them, it wouldn't even break. And honestly, these areas are excellent habitats for these animals to live in, but they're also good habitats for animals to hunt in. Take a look on the left-hand side and keep an eye out there. Good eye. Right over there on the left-hand side laying down. You'll see its ears and its head. That is the cheetah back there. The cheetah will use short bursts of speed in order to catch their prey, running up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. They also have a black line that runs underneath their eyes that will protect their eyes from the sun in order to reduce glare. And fun fact, the cheetah is the largest cat that still has the ability to meow. There's one walking around while I'm stopping here for a second. Spider webs. But we're not out of the woods yet. The cheetahs left us alone, but we're now passing by a kopie. And does anyone know what lives on kopies? That's right. Lions are the ones that like to stay on these kopies to survey the savannah. But we don't always get to see them because they're nocturnal hunters. They'll spend the majority of the day sleeping and then go out at night to hunt. I'm not going to lie to you all. I haven't seen the lions a lot today, so I'm not positive we're going to see them here, but there's always the chance they might still be there. Just keep an eye on that kopie and let me know if you see anything. From what I see over here, there's not much. Yeah, I don't see any lions over here. They're most likely underneath the cave or underneath this kopie in order to stay away from the sun and rest up a bit. We'll let them have a little cat nap and continue on. Oh, wait a second!
Oh, look!
The king has returned. Now, remember how I said they're the nocturnal hunters? That male that you see is going to be doing absolutely nothing. It'll be the female lioness that does the hunting, while the male will tend to stay back and defend the pride. And now the next animal we're going to see does tend to be a little more timid. Let me tell me what it is. That's right, this is the warthog. And they're going to live in the burrows that you see underneath them, but they most likely stole these burrows away from another animal. They have the capability of making their own burrows, but they like to steal them for some reason, and their tusks are razor sharp. So it's not an animal you want to get into a fight with. So just like I like to say, it's best not to get into a beef with pork. Now, there's something I want to show you over here. We saw those ostriches earlier, and if you all look on the right-hand side, just past this bush, those are the ostrich eggs on the floor. And now, let's head into Magadi Glen. This is going to be our final part of our safari here today, and also home to one of our farmers that helps us with our conservation efforts. We'll swing by and see what they're doing to help us out. In fact, I think we're going to see one of our cutest conservation efforts out here, called the Nigerian dwarf goat. And they are a much more manageable livestock to have because this is the biggest size they will ever get. They also produce a sweet milk that the farmer can sell that is very nutritious. It's just another way we're trying to conserve our size for the animals that live around us. And the conservation does not have to end here. We can always do our part when it comes to it. Whether it be recycling our old electronic devices, using less paper, or even teaching our friends and families about the animals we saw here today, we can ensure they will all stay with us for many years to come. Yep, we're leaving. Now, unfortunately, we are going to be heading back to the Harambe village, but that doesn't mean your journey has to end with us. In fact, if you want to see some more animals we weren't able to see out here today, head over to Rafiki's Planet Watch, where we have a petting zoo where you can see more of this Nigerian dwarf goat. And if we have any wilderness explorers on board today, you can always pick up your badge as soon as you exit out. All you have to do is let them know you were on the symbol 1. That is the SIMBA 1. You'll get your badge. But it has been a very long 2 weeks out here at the Kilimanjaro Safaris, and I do hope that you all enjoyed it. Before we reach the unloaded area though, make sure we are gathering all of our belongings before exiting out. Look at the seats beside you and the floor beneath you. Parents, make sure we have our kids. And kids, this is very important. Make sure we have our parents, and we'll be ready to go. But out here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye as it is way too sad and way too final. So instead, we like to say Kwa Harini, which means to go well. And I do hope that you all go well and go wild out there into Harambe, and hopefully the animals that we saw here were able to inspire you just like they inspired me. We're just gonna wait for one of my friends to move forward here first. If somebody pops up behind us before my friends over here at this dock leave, we will have to take the left-hand side and wait a little longer to get to that unload area. Now, as soon as you do exit out, you're actually going to be passing by another area you can see some animals called Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail.